hoogie and away, yeah, no way, hey, hoogie and away, yeah, no way. Kawiti, hanariskwa yatsi, wandatindi wandakindari, yanariskwa iwayukuta. You guys got that?
No.
No, you don't speak Wendat?
No.
Alright, let me translate that for you. Kwawiti means hello everyone. Hanariskwa yatsi, hanariskwa, this is my name. Wandatindi wandakindari, I'm a Wendat and I come from Wandake. And Yanariskwa iwayukuta means I am from the wolf clan. Now, have you guys ever wondered where the stars come from? Yeah? You know, a long time ago, when we looked up in the night sky, there would be no stars. None at all. You would see the moon passing by, and well, during the daytime, of course, the sun, but there would be no stars. And it was a really long time ago when we still lived in the sky world, on the clouds. And in that sky world, well, there were villages, long houses, everything you would expect. And in one of those villages, the kids of that village, they had gotten up really early. And so early, in fact, that they couldn't really awake everyone else, all the adults. The women, they would be working in the fields. The men, they would have to hunt and do hard work. So any minute of sleep they could spare, they needed it. So the kids, they understood that they could not play inside that longhouse. You know, even in the Chaputuan, the bedding makes a bit of noise when you play on it. Plus playing makes noise. So the kids decided to go play outside. Outside, right by the great tree of life. Around that great tree, the kids, they played a lot of games. The bowl game, the feather game, the moccasin game. All those games, we still play them today. So the bowl game is quite simple. You get a bowl, you get 6 stone fruit stones, paint one side of them over, leave the other side blank, strike the bowl to the ground. If you get 5 on the same side, you get a point, up to 10. If you get 6, you instantly win the game. If you get 4 or 3, well, you get no point, and it's the other player's turn. Quite a fun game. It's like playing dice, basically. Then there was the moccasin game. You need 4 moccasins, like those. You take them off, put them upside down, and one of the 2 players, because you need 4 of them, so 2 players, one of the 2 players tries to hide an object under one of the 4 moccasins. The other player has to guess under which moccasin the object is hidden. And then there's the feather game. That one is quite fun. You leave a feather on the ground, then as long as the music plays, the player dances around the feather. As soon as the music stops, that player has to skip on 1 foot, on the feet on which he was standing when the music stopped, and he has to skip in circles around the feather and try to pick it up with his mouth. It's quite a fun game to watch. Now anyways, the kids, they would have plenty of games to play with. They would have plenty of games to play and spend time whilst they wait for the adults to get up and call them up. Now, those kids, they had played for a long time at that point. The sun was quite high in the sky. It was close to noon. And no adult has come to them to tell them to come eat. They haven't had their breakfast. They hadn't eaten anything that day. And so one of the kids decided to go see his grandmother. She was busy making corn flour using the modern pestle, and she was just preparing corn flour. And the kid arrives and said, Grandma, we're really hungry. Can't we eat now? The grandmother said, no, not yet. We're going to eat all together, as we always do. Now go back and play with your brothers. The kid said, but Grandma, we're so hungry. If we don't eat now, we're going to die. We're going to starve. The grandmother said, yeah, of course, you're going to starve. Now go back and play with your brothers. We'll tell you when it's ready. And we'll all eat together, as we always do. And so the kid got back with his brothers, and they kept on playing games, and time went by. A couple hours went by, and the grandmother didn't come to get them and to feed them. And so, well, another of the kid decided to go see the same grandmother, figuring that maybe she'd forgotten about them. So the kid arrives and he sees the grandmother still doing corn flour. And he says, Grandma, we're really hungry. Can't we eat now? If we don't eat now, we're going to really starve. We're starving already. The grandmother said, go back and play with your brothers. We'll eat all together when it's ready, as we always do. We're not going to make exceptions today. Now go back. The kid said, but Grandma, please. You've made so much corn flour already. Can't you make us a bit of yandatara, a bit of banak, so we can eat now and then keep on going? The grandmother said, go back and play with your brothers. Yo. Yo is a Wendat word that means I have spoken. When your grandmother says yo, you listen. And so, the kid goes back to see his brothers. And as he moves closer to his brothers, as he sees the tree out in the distance, he notices that they've stopped playing. They've started dancing. They're dancing around that tree. And as he comes closer, he starts to hear something, faintly at first, but then gets louder. And as he gets closer, he eventually hears a song. As soon as he hears those first lyrics, he enters a sort of trance and dances along with his brothers. Hoogie on away, yeah, no way, hey, hoogie on away, yeah, no way. And as the kids are dancing around that tree, they start to lift up in the air, going higher and higher and higher. And as they keep dancing and going higher, hurry on away, yeah, no way, hey, hurry on away, yeah, no way. Eventually, the kids are so high up in the sky that the grandmother can eventually see them. She sees them and she panics. She runs with a basket full of bread and she screams, kids, 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 come down, I'm so sorry. Come down, I've got some banak, some yandatara, come down, please. We're gonna eat now. But the kids, they don't hear anything. The only thing they hear is that song. Hurry on away, yeah, no way, hey, hurry on away, yeah, no way. And as they keep going higher and higher, the kids, they start to forget about their hunger. Actually, it's not the only thing to forget about. Start to forget about their names, their villages, even the faces of their parents. It all seems to fade away to them as they keep going higher and higher, dancing in the song. Hurry on away, yeah, no way, hey, hurry on away, yeah, no way. And as soon as the music stops, the kids, they're now so high up in the sky that when you look up to the night sky, you can still see them dancing. They appear like mere white dots. And if you look for long enough, you will see that they are still there, still dancing. But they're so far away from each other now that they appear like they're almost not moving. Yet they still dance. And when you look at the stars, when you see how the stars are placed up in the night sky, well, you'll see that there's one thing that those kids haven't forgotten about. Because as soon as you look at how the stars are dancing with each other, you will notice that when you look at the shapes they make together, it will show you the shapes of the 12 Wendat clans, of which 4 of them are still alive here in Wendake today. The wolf, the bear, the turtle, and the deer. That is where the stars come from. Yo.
Ouais.
Merci, merci.